Hey everyone, welcome to episode 63 of the Paddle Talk podcast. Great to have you along this week. We got some great topics to talk about. Talking about news you can use, a preview of the Keys Peak hill climb with Matt Willis, and also we talk a little East meets West National Challenge coming up in March of 2026. So stay tuned. Got a great show for you this week. And brought to you by our friends at Racing in the Dirt out of Cleveland, Wisconsin. You can find them on the web at racinginthedirt.com, find them on Facebook, or give them a call. Area code 920-693-2000. That's area code 920-693-2000. They can UPS daily everything from wheels, tires, bolt-ons, enclosed chain drive, steering, all the way up to full chassis. You name it, they are ready to help your race program along. Give them a call or find them on the web or Facebook today. That's Racing in the Dirt. Welcome back to the Paddle Talk podcast, everybody. We are talking all things snow hill climb, specifically the Keys Peak Snow Hill Climb coming up next weekend. That'll be March 7 and 8. Up in Florence, Wisconsin. And just a reminder, this episode, since we're talking about Wisconsin, brought to you by our friends at Racing in the Dirt, located in Cleveland, Wisconsin. From tires, wheels, accessories to full turnkey builds, Racing in the Dirt, ready to make your 2025 race season one to remember. So call them today, area code 920-693-2000. Or find them on Facebook, or find them at racinginthedirt.com. That's racinginthedirt.com. And remember, they UPS daily. All right, so we are joined by Matt Willis from Michigan as well, talking all things snow hill climb. And Matt, what's on tap? What can somebody expect coming to the hill climb?
A lot of people. So this is probably one of the coolest events that I've ever been able to put my hands on. The amount of poured out help from the community and spectators and just people, lots and lots of people. I mean, there's normally anywhere between 8,000 to 15,000 people that show up for this event. This is just a small community hill climb. A small community snow hill. It's in a small town of Florence. Everything that is put on with this is done with volunteers. And everybody gets a piece of it in the community. This isn't just something that is a money maker for us as racers. This is a money maker for the community. The fire department, the Blue Ox Trail Riders Club, they get big kickbacks from this, and they also donate their time. Everybody that's working concessions, working the hill, everybody is volunteers for the community. So it's a huge deal for these guys up here. And the amount of horsepower that comes into that place, these guys have never seen it before. It's unreal, the support from everybody every year. We see new vehicles every year. We see new names on the registration sheets. I mean, there's stuff on there that I haven't even seen in the 4 years I've been helping Ray. It's really cool. And, with us losing our snow hill climb here in Michigan, we've kind of all moved our efforts to get into Wisconsin, because it's an up and around ordeal. Florence is just outside of Iron Mountain. So us in the Grand Rapids, Holland area are going up and around through the UP over to Wisconsin. So it's a good travel, and there's guys from all over the place. Iowa, our boys that always used to come to Shush Mountain all the time. They travel up from Iowa. We got people from Minnesota. I know last year we had a couple guys from Wyoming, Colorado. I mean, they come from all over the place. And we do this all in one day. So we normally have anywhere between 100 to 125 entries. We start at 10:30, 11 o'clock, and we run them until we're done. We'll throw the lights on, and 5, 6 o'clock, we're still running them. and there's still people there watching.
That's awesome, man. I've heard stories for a long time about how, they bust spectators in, and everything else, which is crazy that, you have to do that because of the parking's a little tight and everything. And yeah, we know of some guys that are going and really excited. How full is the class list looking at this point in time?
We should be right into that. I mean, so the hard part with registration is it's not a prepaid registration. So you get some guys on there that their stuff still, we do this registration back in January. Their stuff's still apart. We're going to make it. So they enter. We normally lose, 5 to 10%. But then you also have a few that don't want to do the online registration. So they have called Ray and got on the list. So there's some stuff that's not on the registration that everybody can look at that are entered. So we should be right in that 100 to 125 car range.
John Sword, either you want to be a Vulcan or you have a question.
What kind of vehicles do we expect to see here, Matt? And tell us about the classes a little bit.
So mainly everything that you will see at Wisconsin is mostly 4-wheel drive vehicles. It's all, trucks. There'll be a couple 2-wheel drive vehicles. I know my kid's bringing his buggy, which was always, 2-wheel drive stuff was competitive when we were at Shush. Why not try it in Wisconsin?
Oh yeah, he's gonna get wet.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, we have everything from, stock-ish vehicles. We've had some issues in the past with just bone stock stuff with snow deterioration, stuff like that, and kind of slowing down the program. At the end of the day, us as racers are there to put on the best program that we possibly can for all those people that are there. So you're looking at some, motor swap trucks at the bottom, A, B class. C class is your street open. So basically, as long as it is legal to go down the road, windshield, tail lights, insurance, plates, whatever it's got under the hood, run it. We got some big single turbo stuff that's in that class, some big nitrous motor stuff that's in that class. Your D class is your any tire class, so no power adder, whatever tire they want, no chains or spikes or anything like that. So paddles and cuts, no power adder. And then your your E and F class is your open class. So E class will be open chassis, open motor, cut tires only, or DOT tires only. And then your F class will be open any tire. And then this year we just added a diesel class, so open diesel.
Oh yeah.
So wow. There should be a whole lot of black smoke in the air.
Now, how many entrants in the open diesel class do you have?
I would have to look. I think 10-ish.
Hey,
for a new class, that's
that's cool.
Oh,
that's good.
Especially when a lot of the open diesel stuff you see in dirt, sand, and mud, they tend to only run the hard pack with DOT tires.
Well, and the thing is with this open diesel, you're going to get more of your sled truck, your sled pulling trucks.
Oh yeah,
oh true. Wow.
So we had a couple big Dodges last year. I think it was a couple big Dodges, a couple big Fords that were pulling trucks, and they were really pushing for an open diesel class. I know one of my buddies from Iowa has got a big Cummins that's coming. So yeah, it should be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Dave Applegate.
Yeah, I got a question for you, Matt. How's the facilities there for someone that may has never been there like myself? If obviously I'm not going to make it, but if I was able to go there, what do we got? Do we got somewhere to get something to eat? They got decent bathrooms. What are we looking at there?
Yeah, so there's your good old Blue Lagoons everywhere. We got a lot of Porta Johns and stuff everywhere. There is a lodge, a ski lodge there that has bathrooms and everything in it. There's
the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, Blue Lagoon. Sorry, John, I had to hit you.
I like it.
they bring in a couple 28-foot trailers that are completely full of beer, and they'll be empty by the end of the day. And they do burgers, brats, hot dogs. It's all put on by the fire department, and like I said, area volunteers. They cook it up all day, and they run until they run out, and then we go get more.
Matt, don't you guys have Coors? Matt, don't you guys have Coors as a sponsor for the event as well?
Yeah.
Get those spectators plenty of antifreeze.
So spectator wise, Matt, are they able to, like, where do they sit? Are they able to go on the sides of the hill and stand and watch, or how does that work?
Yep. So we have one complete side of the hill that's open to spectators. So basically all of our spectators, they funnel into the north side of the hill, and they're allowed to go up that north side of the hill and stand in there. We don't allow any spectators on the south side just because that's where race vehicles, parking, all of that stuff happens. We try and do what we can to keep our spectators as safe as possible. There is not a ton of parking at the hill. So basically, this is how we've told everybody. You go to your area bar. If you've got a parking spot, we got a shuttle bus coming for you.
Yeah, cool. Good deal.
So they actually have 3 school buses that run around to 6 different shuttle points, which are there's signs all over the area that point you to those shuttle directions. And you can get picked up by a bus, and they drop you right at the hill. And when we get done, the buses run the whole time. From the time we start at 8 o'clock in the morning with registration and teching, all the way up until the last spectators off the hill.
Well, I got one more last question before someone else jumps in. So if I was to go and I was a racer, you say it's a one-day event, am I able to get there the night before and camp out or whatever for the next morning? How does that work?
Yes. There will be people showing up on Thursday for this event.
Okay.
So we have a small asphalt parking lot that we try and get as many of our heavier tow rigs that I know are coming into. And then your open trailers, stuff like that. We have a giant lot across the street that we park them in, and then they travel across the street.
Good deal. Well, thank you, Matt. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Caleb, looked like you was getting ready to say something.
Yeah, Matt. So, just kind of, you were talking about like the tech process and stuff like that. Is that something mostly just to get people into the correct classic designation, or like just on the racer side, what does a competitor need to make sure that they can come and compete?
So we do a lot on the honesty system. This is a small event. It's in a tight area. Either myself or Ray know the majority of these vehicles that are registered in. So we can a good majority we can tech in our heads because we've pretty much seen them all. The stuff that neither one of us have seen, we're in good communication between each other that we will check out the morning of, or if people show up early on Friday, we do a lot of registration and teching and stuff on Friday if they show up early.
What about as far as like safety wise, whether it's personal safety gear or chassis stuff? I know you've got everything from street classes to, like you said, the open chassis, crazy monster build. So where, like, if you're more on the street truck side, can I show up with, my plated truck and street clothes, or like, do you require helmets, or what's
every class will require a helmet and wear a seatbelt at the time. If we see somebody that's up in one of the bigger classes and not using common sense as a racer and has 700-800 horse under the hood and has a lap belt on, we're gonna have like I said, a lot of this is based still on the honesty system. We don't want to drag 2 pages worth of rules out. It becomes pretty exhausting of everybody. Well, this person didn't do this, or this person did this.
Caleb wants to know if you have to wear gloves. Where are you going?
I mean, I don't know if he would be able to handle climbing under 70 degrees.
Well, yeah.
That's getting pretty chilly, man. I don't know.
Matt, that was probably the best comeback we've had in a long time. Thank you for that. That was awesome. Perfect timing.
So,
No,
Matt,
yeah.
your turn to name drop here. Give us a couple of trucks that you know are coming.
If anybody has looked through the list of trucks, Mr. Vanderwall did enter the old shit box. If anybody can't figure that out, Hysteria is coming. Benson, I believe Benson is coming. Tyler's coming. Green Jeep is coming. Wine Time is not.
Huh?
Todd has kind of given up the snow reins of things. And I think some of these faster guys are not too far behind.
Oh, really?
The caliber of cars. Well, yeah. I mean, the caliber of cars that we were running 5 years ago in the snow were 350, 340 cars.
Very true.
We're running 295 cars in the snow. I mean,
Yeah. It's a little sketchy.
It's pretty sketchy. I mean, I've been in some close ones myself. Todd's been upside down a couple times. I've been upside down once. Jason's had some close calls. Benson had a couple close calls last year with a little spinning at the top, just trying to get everything loaded up. I mean, we can only do with what Mother Nature gives us. And when we get a bunch of snow and we get a thaw, we get ice. So we got to try and break it up and try and make it as safe for everybody as possible. It's Mother Nature. We can only do what we can, and all I ask is for everybody to be as safe as they possibly can. We're gonna do
snow.
Yeah,
Definitely.
We're moving the starting line. I can't say we. Ray has made an executive decision to move the starting line down the hill a little bit, and then we can move the finish line down a little bit, and that will allow us to give some braking on the hill, which helps tremendously.
Oh, that's huge.
Definitely. Look at Last Blast.
Yep. Same thing, so we're gonna try and do that this year and see how we can do keeping the lanes and everything in good working order, and we'll make changes on the fly. We are very good at thinking on our feet. We try and do whatever we can to not slow the program down for the spectators, because we us in the dirt industry know that nobody wants to watch graders.
No, this is true. Is a class going to be round robin, or is it going to be run a round and then move on to another class?
Nope, we don't have the room for that.
Okay.
So basically it's round robin. The double elimination classes, basically the winners will come down and get in one row. The losers will come down in another row. The losers run off. They file right back in the same row that they just came out of, and then we fire right back up, and the winners of the losers bracket start running the winners of the winners bracket, and we roll right through until we get to the final, run the final, move on to the next class.
Okay. Dave, I saw you had your hand raised for a hot second.
Yeah, I did. And we think back here, I think it was episode either or podcast 61 or 62. We was talking about the old 4-letter word, Mother Nature. And I said, Damian Bowers is kind of keeping an eye on that. And Matt must have been listening because he said Mother Nature. He didn't say anything else. So Matt, was you listening to that episode? Because you said Mother Nature. I got to give you a big round there.
I know better.
Yeah, don't say that well, I shouldn't say that, because really, if we think about it, guys, 4-letter word for what they're doing, snow.
Different 4-letter word. That's a good 4-letter word.
So yeah. I guess it kind of depends, but yeah. Hey man, it sounds fantastic. I've never seen nothing like that other than, on videos. It's got to be a blast, man. It's got to be a great time for your family.
Come on up here, Dave. Let's go.
Just the locals, just come up for the family or what. It's got to be a great time.
Well,
Come
just
on up, Dave. Let's go.
the hospitality is just awesome. You know, these people don't get to see this kind of stuff on a regular basis. You know, so you get people coming around, you know, before we start racing, and they're looking at these trucks and asking just, you know, the most off the wall questions that we're not used to hearing, just because, you know, we're around it all the time. You know, and there's people that, you know, I've helped with this race for quite a few years, and I get up there a couple times a year, and there are still just, you know, people that know me by name that I couldn't pick out of the crowd if I wanted to, but the amount that we bring to the community for all the stuff that we do on this event, just these people just love it. They just show up and they support. It's awesome.
How many years has this been going on?
I believe 5.
Okay. All right.
I believe 5.
Damien.
Ray will kick me later, but
Damien.
Yep.
Would you take the Jeep up it if you was able to make it?
I'd have to make some changes to the setup, but I think I would like to try to one day, but it's definitely a trek.
Well, I'm not talking about the drive up. I'm just saying, even if it was Indiana, hey, look, you got that, what is that right there in Harrison area, the ski lodge there.
Perfect North.
Perfect North. What if they said that? Would you take your Jeep up of Snow Hill?
All depends. It's just a matter of what's going on.
All right.
I would give it a shot.
Clear the schedule. Clear the schedule.
I'd have to put the scoopers on it. That's for sure. Them 20s probably wouldn't hook much in
There
that
you
snow.
go. There you go.
So it's just as long of a drive for me to go there as it is for you to drive there, Danny.
There you go.
The same distance. Just ask Ryan. You know, you want to talk about chassis changing. You know, you got old Mr. Kerr with the old donkey. You know, that guy spends a couple of weeks before this event even starts, and he changes everything around.
Puts some bigger diggers on it.
Yep, the chassis change, shock change. I mean, this isn't racing in the dirt. I mean, and sorry if I had to throw the plug in there for you, but it's, you know, we're in the snow. It's totally different. The power's different. How you drive is different. You know,
and the snow there can be different types of snow that you're racing on.
Absolutely.
There can be the light powder or heavy slush, or heck, it could just be a sheet of ice.
Yep.
Yeah, very weather dependent. So, all right. Well, fantastic, man. I'm looking forward to it. I will be on site starting Friday, so hopefully everything goes well. I do know that some other people will be attending. Some of our MRA friends are going to be making an appearance, so can't wait to see that. And also, somebody that hasn't been out in a little while has indicated that he's headed up too. So looking forward to seeing that Jeep as well make an appearance on the hill. Matt Willis, we'll give you the last word. What do you got, buddy?
I love that you called me out on who I thought was coming, but you want to play the little intro to I don't know who's coming. Nice, Isaac. I see how it is. Hey, all I can say is there is no other winner to the Winter Blues than horsepower, race fumes, and snow.
Absolutely. No, I agree, man. And what a way to kind of kick off the 25 race season with something really cool like this. And at least here in the Midwest is something we need, because we've been kind of needing something for a while now.
It's been cold. It's been cold and dark for a while. We need some fun.
True story. That is for sure. So, all right. So that is going. Yes, Kit.
I was going to say, Matt, do you have a favorite to win from the trucks you know that are coming?
I do not.
Buggies and such.
I'm gonna tell you right now that I have tried to call the winner for years, and the snow is the equalizer, and it is not always the biggest horsepower or the most wheel speed that wins. There's a lot of driver in that, and a lot of people run out of talent a little late in the event. So
that's a good way to put it. All right. So March 7 and 8. 8 being the race. You can arrive March 7, Florence, Wisconsin, the Keys Peak Snow Hill Climb. It's going to be fantastic, folks. Caleb Miggs, take us home and let's wrap this segment.
Right on. Yeah, looking forward to that. And for all of you guys that are Midwest people, maybe, to lighten up your mood, you should go check out worldsandragnews.com and click on our photos tab. That's going to take you to our galleries. You can revisit all of the past year's racing action at your home track, when there was warmer weather and it wasn't dark out and it wasn't snowing, and you can wear a t-shirt out. It's great. So go on there, check it out. Grab a couple photos, spruce up the living room, spruce up the garage, get your racing cabinet ready for the 2025 season. And it's a great way to support World Sand Drag News.
Everybody, welcome back to the Paddle Talk podcast here on World Sand Drag News. Appreciate you tuning in. And we're going to talk a little East meets West challenge. Now, this race is over a year away, but want to get talking about it and get it out there and do some talking. But before we do that, this episode and segment, as always, brought to you by Racing in the Dirt. Our friends up in Cleveland, Wisconsin, ready to make your 2025 race season everything that you want it to be. From pieces, parts, accessories, wheels, tires, bolt-ons, chain drives, you name it, all the way to full chassis builds. Racing in the Dirt, ready to get your 2025 race season off to a great start. So give them a call today, area code 920-693-2000. That's area code 920-693-2000. Or you can find them on Facebook or find them on the web at racinginthedirt.com. That's racinginthedirt, all one word, .com, and the UPS Daily. All right, so our very own Mr. John Sorg is very connected to this race coming up. Johnny, let's talk all things East meets West National Challenge. Give us the 5,000-foot view right now. Where are we heading? When are we heading there? And what are we doing?
And the 5,000-foot view is exactly what you're going to get, Isaac DeHaan. Basically, the whole key to this whole thing, as Isaac said in the intro, was to get this out in the public eye right now, to get a date set and to let everybody know this is coming. And it's going to come in full effect. I'll just let you know it's going to be quite epic. It's going to have everything from top alcohol, top eliminator, heads up ATV, heads up UTV, heads up. What else do we got? A fuel. I mean, probably Pro Mod Unlimited. And sportsmen. I mean, you're going to see ATV sportsmen, car sportsmen, Pro 1, 2, and 3 probably. So there's going to be something for everybody there. And the next couple months, we'll get together a little more and hammer more of the details out so we can get it out to you guys as soon as possible.
Sounds like everybody in the Midwest needs to start kind of planning a racecation a little bit. What are our dates for the East meets West Challenge there, John?
Well, now I got to look because you said that.
I'm going to interject.
You got him
I don't have it up right now, but I'm going to interject, Isaac. You cannot use that word. Mike Ellington has that word copyrighted, and you owe him a bunch of money now.
Oh, that's true. He does. He's in default.
Which word is that?
Here's what I'll say. We'll give him a sponsor plug. MKE Motorsports. How's that?
MKE. And the race dates are March 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Of 2026, correct? Okay.
So make sure everybody's clear on that. 2026. It's not next month. It's 2026.
And where are we heading?
We're heading to Dome Valley.
That's right.
In Arizona.
So whether you're a bracket guy, heads up guy, ATV, UTV, there's going to be something for everybody literally at this race to get after.
It's going to be great. It's going to be huge. I see tracks all across, chitter-chattering about it now and putting groups together. I know we have Doug Vinlett here is going to put up to 2 semi trucks together to get a load out for guys that want to do a little cheaper deal, don't want to take the time, and can just fly out. So, yeah, that'll be very convenient for those who don't want to make that kind of drive or expense of that type. So,
Yes, Dave Applegate. Do you want to challenge somebody to a grudge race now, or are we going to wait for a little bit?
No, I'm not ready for a grudge.
No, Dave's going to put the side by side on one of those semis, and he's going to come out and race against me.
Yes, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. But here's the thing. So I get a call from John. Actually, me and John talk all the time during the week. And John, I'm on the phone with him. He's like, hey, next year in March, we're going to Dome. I'm like, oh, okay. And he just starts telling me about how we're going to go to Dome. And we even got, honest to God, we got to the point where it was like, how much money do we need to save a month? we figured out his truck, my truck, what the cost would be in fuel. This is no shit.
By the way, folks, just because we're on World Sand Drag News, don't make us rich.
Yeah, it was to the point where we finally decided that $250 a month from a month ago until then would give us X amount of dollars to where we could both make it there and back. Cheese and crackers eating, of course, but we could still make it there and back. And we figured $250 a month. And I'm like, all right, cool. So was it last week, John? I think I asked him, like, hey, I'm like, so who the hell's doing this race? I mean, how do you know it's John? He never said, hey, I'm trying to put this race on. He never said nothing. He just said, hey, we're going to, oh, okay, thanks, John. I didn't even know.
Yeah, we're going. I just had to let you know we're going, bro.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell? So, yeah, anyways, it's in the plans. It's in the works. It's going to be great. Thank you, John, and whoever you got involved into this. It's awesome to have it done. John, there's one thing that you haven't said yet. What's the plan for the following year?
Well, let's just kind of tune into that. The following year, 2027, we will bring the East Meets West back to Michigan in Mears, right around the same time frame, around the 1st of August.
I love it, man.
That will be the next one. We decided to go, talking with Esteban and stuff, we decided to go alternate years. It's back in the day, we used to go every year, sometimes twice a year, man. I'll tell you what, that was a little rough. But if we could kind of get something going every other year where we can accumulate enough people to go and generate that kind of interest and keep it going, man, I'm all for it. Let's do it. And what better way to tap the water again than let's jump in and roll.
That's right. And it gives everybody a year to plan, and everything else. I tell you, I really like this because, Johnny, you and I kind of, really have been at Silver Lake, since, you've been there a lot longer than I have. But I remember, early
the original
90s,
days of it.
Right. Showing up and, Mario Tavares, who we'll talk about in our next segment, showing up with Don Potter's car, Taylor Brewer, John Keller, Jeff Maber, guys like that,
Richard
just really making a mark on the sport, and showing up. Can't forget Mr. Larry Brown even coming out there and making himself known in the bracket classes. I mean, really, really good to see those guys. And I tell you what, hopefully this will kind of kickstart that same sort of thing back up again. Be great to see kind of that East Coast, West Coast, see a bunch of cars you don't know and you're not familiar with. And, maybe, I know maybe we're out on a limb here, but maybe this could be the new Prim. Just throwing it out there. Now, I don't know that Esteban's got access to a mall to get everybody to, but, I mean.
We get a portable casino.
There we go. I mean, Yuma's just over the mountain. I mean, it's not that far away, right?
Do that.
So, Damien Bowers, what you up to?
I've also been seeing a lot of interest on Facebook from the Puerto Rican crowd looking to try and make it to this race.
I did see that too. And I don't have a lot of connections. I'd like to see Does anybody know exactly where the Mexican track is, where they're running that I keep seeing? I don't know the
Los
location of
Chatos.
that.
Wait, are we talking about the guy that got? Are we talking about the track where the dude got dusted carrying his beer and elephant
I think
ear
it might
behind
have
the
been.
starting
Oh,
line,
that's
or the
a
guy that
different
got
track.
run over?
But there
in
was
the
another
shutdown?
track I saw too, and I don't.
Where
I
Zavala goes and runs a lot.
yeah.
There's
that-
Pista Los Chatos, and I'm trying to remember where it's from.
I just wonder if that was
They-
deep inside or not too far out.
I don't think it's Mexicali, so it's not like crazy far. Let's see here.
Because maybe
Well,
we can get some propaganda
Caleb's
going to
looking at that.
Mexico.
Well, Caleb's
Yeah,
trying to
they're-
figure it out. Well, you all need to buy these pictures from us so that we can all make it out there. Just
Definitely.
Yeah, that
please.
that one track is not the one that's right along the road that the guy got roosted, but the main, like, we'll call it like super like professional track that a lot of people really like going to. Pista Los Chatos. That's in Mexicali, which is really just outside of Yuma. It's just across the border. So I'm hoping that not only are we going to get a lot of the Puerto Rican crowd that they're going to be boating cars over, I hope we get a lot of the fast guys from Mexico to show
Me
up.
too.
Every now and then we'll get like some quick of the 1650 paddle Jeeps that show up on like Saturdays. But man, if we can get some of the guys with some of the fast dragsters, the altereds that are down there, the Seven
Washington.
Piolas Jeep.
Washington.
Texas is. There's a lot of races in Texas that would fit in that crowd.
Mhm.
Obviously, the top eliminator crowd and top alcohol crowd from Atoka and Missouri would be great to see as
Right.
well.
I think this
It's got
race
potential
has
to be just massive.
I would agree. I think this race has the ability to be a huge deal. Hey, I mean, let's be honest. The weather is always seems to be really good at Dome. You're talking early March, before it gets too terrible hot. I mean, it could be a really, really amazing weekend. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
So am I, and I hope everybody else is too. I think it'll be a great event.
Whether
All
I
right,
make
so
it
hey,
or
guys.
not, it's looking
Yes,
to be
Dave.
awesome.
Hey, real quick before we drop this and move on to the next segment here, we don't have to get into it too deep now, but guys, y'all with these bad boy side-by-sides, keep in mind, y'all gonna be there, gonna race. Me and John's been talking. Get them ready.
Get them
Not gonna be
ready.
not gonna be no what do you call it, Isaac? Record reset. We are going to be racing, and so John's all for it. I think we all are. We want to see you guys come there and lay it on the line. So be ready. We're going to have those details coming out pretty soon.
It'll be
Awesome,
heads up,
man.
and it'll be run what you brung kind of a thing, and we'll see who the real baddest of the bad is.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I'd love to see some guys and see a big pro mod class out there as well. So that would be fantastic. And hey, by the time this airs, you got about 51 weeks, best as I could figure, to save up to get out there. So let's make it happen.
53.
Only fans is going to be blown up here soon. I can tell you that after this podcast.
Oh God, you and John collabing, are you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to make a
Bringing
reel
sexy back.
for just $5 a day. You too can send this announcer to the East Meets West Challenge. Oh man! All right, well, hey man, looking forward to it. I think this race is gonna have a ton of hype, and I can't wait. I really
More to
hope things
come.
work out, and I think it's gonna be really good. So, if you want to see us at this race, Caleb Mings, what could people do to help that make happen?
Well, folks, the best way you can do to support getting this whole World Sand Drag News crew out there is to go and check out our photo galleries. Check them out, worldsandragnews.com. Click on the photos tab and buy some photos on there. It's a great way to support us, and it's a great way to commemorate these big events. We're definitely going to be out there shooting at the East versus West National Challenge, and It's a great way to keep those memories alive for years and years to come. Go there, buy some photos, and help support us continue going to more of these events.
Welcome back to our wrap-up segment of the Paddle Talk podcast. Some news you can use, so to speak. And just a reminder, this segment, just like every segment on the Paddle Talk podcast, brought to you by our friends at Racing in the Dirt. Located in Cleveland, Wisconsin, Racing in the Dirt, ready to help make your 2025 and beyond race season something to remember. From turnkey builds to accessories, wheels, tires, you name it, Scott, Shane, and the crew ready to help your race program get to places it has not been before. So give them a call, area code 920-693-2000. That's area code 920-693-2000. Or you can find them at racinginthedirt.com, or you can find them on Facebook. That's Racing in the Dirt. All right, gents. So we're going to start off. John Sword, news you can use. What do you got for us?
News you can use. Atoka Motorsports Park. Looks like they're kicking off 2025 with Test and Tune March 1st from 12 to 5. So everybody down there, be ready. And another thing on the news, I just wanted to say from the Heartland Nationals for 2025 are showing up with $7,000 top eliminator payout added into their purse. So
Ooh.
I thought that was a good honorable mention for their Memorial Weekend shootout.
Absolutely. You know, that's early enough. People can start making some plans and stuff. You top eliminator guys. And I'm sure we'll have some more coverage as we get closer, but that's good money. $7,000 in payout to
That's huge.
top eliminator class.
Isaac, I will say I've already heard from several of the West Coast top eliminator teams. They're eyeing that extra payout, and they're saying, "Hey, maybe we're in for a Memorial Day road trip."
Right.
Nice. I
They're
like
gonna
it.
They're going to have to take it from Pruitt Schultz, I think.
Probably.
I would
It's
also
pretty hard to
agree
beat at that track.
He's going to be tough wherever he goes.
That ain't
That's
no
true.
lie. Because
No
he
doubt.
showed up at Brookville, never been to that track, and they had that car dialed to 295 the whole weekend.
It was impressive.
Very much so. Some weekends it's just your weekend. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
He gets a lot of those.
yeah. All right. So a little more news you can use, and maybe of not as uplifting as hearing about some good payouts and season gets started. Dave Applegate, we see you have changed your background. What do you have for us?
All right. So there's the background.
I thought he had to go to the bathroom for a minute, the way he's leaning over.
Yeah, well, you never know. You get old, you don't know what happens. But guys, look, a lot of people have already seen it. Little Sandy's for sale. I can tell you it's kind of been for sale for a while. I know Devin and Alyssa very well. Some of you know that, some of you may not. One thing that I need to let everyone know, I talked to Devin today. Devin has a concern. He's had a lot of messages saying, "Hey, are you okay? Is everything good?" Devin and Alyssa are completely fine. They're doing very well. They have some things that they want to do and change. And I will tell you, I've got the okay to say this. One of them is they want to start a family. They are young. They want a kid. All right. They've also purchased some property and want to put a house on, build a house. So, they're under 30 years old, guys. All right. And I got to give them a big thumbs up for what they've done, but they're looking to move up and do what they need to do. So, this year, they're not sure what they're going to do for the whole year of racing. But I will tell you, as of now, their thoughts is to have some races. All right. So if it doesn't sell right away, just hold tight. Some things are going. I'm working with them on something for my SPDRS race, which is May 8th, 9th, and 10th. We may end up having something pretty big that weekend. We'll see. But guys, if you're interested in the track, it's a great track. most of you have, that have been there. No, Damien, you've been there. John, I think you said you've been there. Isaac,
Yes,
have you
sir.
been there?
Yep.
So we know it's got a great potential. I mean, let's just hope whoever gets it continues it. Some of you know that I was looking at getting it, just not in the cards like I was thinking it was. You start digging in, you find out real quick that hey, this is a little bit out of my reach, and I'm not ashamed to say that, but guys, let's support them. The more we support them
Yes.
and other tracks, we've got other tracks out there that. Look, I'm just going to throw this out here real quick. I wasn't going to say nothing, but they've been getting some messages, and I will tell you, I'm on their messenger. I help them with their messages, and we're getting messages that say, "Why are you selling? We love the track. It's fast track. It's this. It's that." I'm not going to mention any names, but guys, if that's the case, why weren't you there? Why aren't you at this track? Why aren't you at that track, guys? If we're going to keep these tracks alive, we need to support them and the community around them.
Absolutely.
So
100%, Dave.
now, keep in mind that is not the reason why Little Sandy's being, put out there for sale. That is not the reason. And trust me when I tell you, I had a long conversation with Devin today. It's not the reason, but it would have helped, to be honest. But look, they're going to do their best to keep some racing going on this year. If we can support them, they're going to do everything they can. Let's hope that another racer that has more funds than I have can keep it going, or another investor or something. So March 8th, 9th, and 10th. If it doesn't sell before then, be ready. We are going to have a big one. Just be ready. I can't say nothing about it yet. I've been asked not to say nothing, but guys, man, give Devin and Alyssa some, round of applause for what they've done for the last, 2.5 years. They've done a great job, especially a young couple. They're ready to move on. Let's support them. And that's pretty much it for now.
And Dave, you mean May 8th, 9th, and 10th, correct?
Yes. Did I say May 8th?
You said March.
March. Well, hey, we're
you know what?
excited,
We're talking about March races,
we're not out there in California like Caleb Ming, where we can run all year. But yeah, guys, just keep it in mind, man. Give them a shout. Let's support them, and not only Little Sandy, but all these tracks.
For sure. And you know what, Dave? Like, I think it's important to mention too, obviously they're trying to free up some capital and stuff to do, some big, life changes and stuff. So kudos to them for kind of taking the next step in their lives and stuff. If you are one of those racers out there with a little of extra capital, out there waiting to invest, I was shocked at the price tag they have on this. This is really inexpensive for what you're getting. It's $225,000, I believe.
Caleb,
that was the price
you
tag?
could move out here.
that's a little out of my price bracket. I'm on Dave's team there, but
Caleb, you could move east and be in our time zone, and we could film earlier.
We could. That would be a good deal. But that comes with the whole facility. It's a little under 16 acres, all the equipment, the timing system. They said in their listing that there's a small little trailer home there that they rent out. So honestly, guys, like if you are a racer out there that, again, either independently or with a few other people that want to go into something like that, everybody here, I'm the only one that hasn't been to that track. I've seen photos and videos and stuff. It seems like an awesome facility, and somebody needs to go and buy this up so that they could continue having many, many years of racing there in Little Sandy Raceway.
And that is in Grayson, Kentucky.
Yep. Absolutely. No, there it is there, right? We lose tracks to a lot of other stuff. We really don't need to lose one to just the fact that, nobody's willing to pick up that mantle and go with it. So very, true story. And hey, again, if you're interested or know somebody that is, they can contact Dave and he can get you in touch with the right people on this deal. So
absolutely. And guys, just keep in mind, man, I don't know how else to say it. Devin and Liz are great people. They did a great job. Let's support them.
Yep.
You know,
Absolutely. So, all right. So, Caleb Mings, possibly some equally maybe disappointing news. The four-cylinder Hemi apparently has a new home, and what does this mean for the future of A Fuel? We're gonna go down that road.
You know what, Isaac? It definitely, I shed a tear when I saw this for sale post. Mario Tavares, longtime standard drug racer, he, our current Fast Four record holder, and just shy of taking the A Fuel record away from the legend himself, Mr. Keith Landreau, out there with the first four-cylinder in the 40s, running a 247, 249. I don't know what the record is off the top of my head.
I thought it was
249. That sounds about right, John. And I mean, trust me when I say I would have never expected the four-cylinder game to go 50s. And Mr. Adam Rowe proved us wrong there. And then when I saw 40s on the scoreboard at Lake Elsinore, I could not believe it. And this combo is something that Mario Tavares developed himself. It's a full, it's an actual Brad Anderson Hemi head, full billet, everything underneath that. And it is such a cool piece. Mario's whole, it's an absolute work of art. Absolutely. And Mario's whole operation is for sale. So he's got his tow truck, trailer, the chassis with everything minus the motor is for sale. That's where kind of the interesting point of this story begins. The motor is not still with Mario. He says that it's been sold. So now the question is, where did this motor get sold to? Is it still in the sand? Did it go to the pavement? Is it in the States? I know we've postulated that maybe it's going to Puerto Rico. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
I don't care as long as it goes somewhere and goes fast. I want to see the end results of that program.
My thoughts is this, and I'm sorry, John, I did not mean to interrupt you.
Oh, you're good.
I'm new to that side of things, you guys know, but what did you say this four-cylinder ran?
249. 149 miles an hour.
147, I think, was the official, but yeah, 249 at 147, we'll say,
was the official record.
And how long ago? Roughly?
2 years ago.
23?
Yeah.
140, not 147.
Well, he went that
actually,
fast. They're back it up.
Yes, you're right. They did.
Not to downplay what this motor is capable of and how fast it's gone. This is a very large four-cylinder when it comes to the four-cylinder world, too.
It's 3.2
it very well could be, but
it's either 3.2 or 3.5. Honestly, it's actually not that much bigger than what we've seen for a lot of the Potter blocks out there, the big cylinder, CC ones with that. This is a whole heads. It's a Hemi head. And now, what you were saying too, Damien, this motor, I truly believe we have only been able to scratch the surface of what this thing's capable of.
Definitely.
Caleb, they were setting up to run on nitromethane, correct? But they as of right now, they had not actually made a nitro pass. That was purely on methanol yet.
Methanol turbocharged. I don't know if they really had serious plans about putting on nitro. They obviously are very familiar with nitromethane, with the Volkswagen style power plants, but it was always turbocharged on methanol, which, I mean, that's a whole different thing. I mean, that engine combination, I'm sure, could be pro-charged or supercharged just as easily. And man, trust me, I wish they put a supercharger on that thing, because that would have been a freaking killer sound.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. As some of you have been to Gravel-Rama and experienced the Indian Uprising, old Pontiac Tempest four-cylinder with a small blower. Imagine something of that scale with nitro.
Oof. That would have been insane. I mean, and I'll say that this it's an inline 4-cylinder. It had a little bit of a cackle thump to it already, just with the way that kind of everything was balanced with it. And it's those big Hemi heads, big pistons. It's a lot different than those boxer style VW engines.
For sure. And we should mention too, out of the 5 of us here on the podcast, there is nothing but love for Mario. Mario's nickname being Super Mario. He has it for a reason. The guy has all the street cred in the world in the form of sand drag racing. The guy's a legend. He has nothing else to prove, but yet he brings this thing out and basically says to the world, hey, don't forget about me. I'm still in this 4-cylinder game. I'm going to give you a bar to chase after again, just like I have so many times before. So if anything, I'm just disappointed that I'm not going to get to see that car run, because that was it was always I remember when I was headed out west quite a bit, that was always something, is when that car was on the property, you knew it was going to run fast, and you knew that the other thing is everything about that operation is top notch, first class. Hopefully Mario does not completely turn his back on us, and we'll see him from time to time, but just more disappointment, I guess, out of our crew than I feel like, Caleb, and I think you'd back this up, that car felt like there was way more in the tank, possibly.
Way more in the tank.
I
truly think that car easily could have gone 30s, and on methanol too, Isaac.
The video of the record pass that you got that year, it didn't even sound like it was laboring at all to run those numbers.
No, not a bit. And that's what's so amazing about that thing. Just the idea of a 4-cylinder. I mean, a 4-cylinder sub like 60s, 70s is a heck of a pass. And then just go right to a sub into the 40s is unbelievable. And that car doesn't even sound like it's got its tongue out and like it's working that hard. So
he went right to 250s, and all of a sudden everybody's like, oh my god, 250s, and then all of a sudden he's like, hold my beer, and runs 240s.
Somebody
man.
get that motor and put it in an RVW car.
Oh man, Dave Applegate, what do you got?
Well, I know there's a particular side-by-side sitting to my left in my trailer that 4-cylinder could go in. But anyways,
yeah,
real quick, where's this guy from? Where's he from?
Chula Vista, California.
Southern California.
Chula Vista.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. That's impressive.
That's cool.
And you know what? We'll give him a little plug here too, guys. So I know Mario was big within Potter Machine back in the day. Potter Machine's kind of, no longer really doing its thing. I think it's like sort of still running some stuff, but there's a lot of parts they're not manufacturing anymore. Mario, he's the big brain behind a lot of that stuff, and he's gone off and done his own thing with Mario Tavares Enterprises. Give him a follow, guys. Not only does he do, obviously, this wild mad scientist 4-cylinder inline Hemi, but he's doing a lot of the VW stuff still. And, he's coming out with new things and really innovating, I think, within the sport on that end of it as well. So go and give him a follow. And obviously, if you're in the market for some of those fast VW stuff, hit Mario up. He's either got the part or he can probably point you in the right direction.
Absolutely. Absolutely indeed. So fantastic. Well, gents, anything else before we wrap up the news you can use segment here?
Yeah, real quick. Last segment, we had talked about Maddie Roller with the old yellow Jeep. Remember that, Damien?
Mm-hmm.
All right. She went to a race the very next weekend. And I'm trying to find it now. I'm sorry. I should have been.
I think I seen that where she won the consistency class.
So I want to give her a big congratulations for getting to win the next weekend. Good job, Maddie.
And with 1,000th difference between the two passes.
Yes, correct. That is correct. So good job, Maddie.
And something else that I've seen get posted this week is McCord stepping up the engine combination in his truck again.
Oh, yes, what's he doing?
Mr. Michael McCord making the move.
Hemi.
Oh shit.
Fort Mod is getting very serious for a lot of people.
So
Big
here's
time.
a question, guys, based on that happening now, and with apologies to Mr. Chris Miner, is it too long before we see a sub 3.0 true door slammer pass?
We're
I
on
think
the
it's
verge
I think
of
it's
it already.
close.
It's going to be between, I think it's going to be between Bilesma, McCord, and Benson at the moment. There's a few more out there that could probably sneak in there and get it, but I think those are the big 3 for it right now.
So, okay. So that being said, then knowing that that's happening, I'll put in a plug here. July 4 and 5. If you've got a bad door truck and you want to hang with the fastest in the country, Friday night, Pro Truck Elite, bring it on. It's heads up, run what you brung, and hope it's enough. So, Pro Truck Weekend, you guys got plenty of time to get your stuff together. Maybe some of our MRA friends want to tangle with that Noonan. And hey, I tell you what, that is shaping up to be a heck of a Friday night race. And I'm just going to plug it now. That way, you know what? You want to see heads up trucks the way they're supposed to be? Friday night, July 4 weekend, Silverback Off-Road Raceway. It's going to be epic. All right. So, and with that, we are going to wrap things up. Caleb Mings, take us home. And folks, we appreciate you watching, appreciate you listening. At the end of the day, please buy our sponsor stuff. That helps us cover more great events for all of you out there, bring you great coverage. And myself and Johnny, Dave Applegate, Damian Bowers, we thank you for watching. Caleb Mings, take us home.
Yeah, so buy our sponsor stuff and buy our stuff too. We've got great photo content from all of our adventures across the United States, and but between all of our different photographers, East Coast, West Coast, and everything in between. Go and grab photos starting at $5 for a digital download, $3 for a little small print. We've got tons of different print options up there, so you can deck out your home, deck out the trophy case, get some cool banners and everything. Go and visit us at worldsandrignews.com, click on that photo tab, and support us with our great photos.